Tony Corbell is the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame. Tony, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Where you guys are in Muskogee.
We're located, our building is the old Frisco Depot building. Used to be an old train depot back in the,
Wow.
I think it was built in 1903. And the floors that we have in there were built in 1909. They're still working.
Is that
We've got the
right?
original floors in the building, and yeah, it's a great old downtown building.
You know, I didn't know until I moved to Oklahoma many years ago that there was such a thing as a spring-loaded dance floor.
Yeah.
And
we don't have one, but I have heard of them.
I've never been on one that I know of, but I'd love to see one sometime.
Yeah, I would too.
Well, a little bit about the organization, and then we're going to get down to brass tacks with it. What do you guys do?
Well, we started in 1997 as the Hall of Fame, and our tagline is to preserve Oklahoma's rich music history, from the past to the current to the future. And Oklahoma, more so than any state in the country, has more musicians that have contributed more quality of music. Our first inductee was Merle Haggard. Of course, he wrote Okie from Muskogee and recorded it in Muskogee. And he's the only inductee we have that never lived in Oklahoma.
Is that right?
Yeah, but because of that song, he got in first. And but we've inducted so many since then. Oh my gosh, Carrie Underwood, Vince Gill, the list goes on and on and on. And we try to bring them in and have a live show when we induct them, and award them their induction. And it's, aside from that, every Thursday night we have live music all throughout the year, and it's just it's a great music venue that we have, and it's a fantastic museum that we have, and so we get visitors from all over the world. I had a busload of 30 tourists from Sweden that came in a few weeks ago.
No kidding.
Yeah, they heard about us and they showed up.
I think one of the fascinating facts is, in kind of a roundabout way, one of the major contributors to the music scene in Oklahoma was the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Because we had stops from the Underground Railroad here in Oklahoma, and some of the music traveled with the folks that got off the train.
Yeah, I think that may be right. I think there's an awful lot of people that came to Oklahoma for a variety of reasons.
Sure.
And settled in, but again, somehow the music was thriving at a time when it wasn't in other places, and I don't know quite why that is.
Yeah.
But you've heard, and as you know, that you mentioned earlier, the Tulsa sound and the red dirt sound changing the way country music's played a little bit, and there's just been so many contributors, and that's one of the criteria to be inducted in our Hall of Fame, is to have made significant contributions to music. And you either had to have lived in Oklahoma for a long time, or recorded here for a long time, or was born in Oklahoma. Neil Schon, the lead guitar player for the very popular band Journey, is from Oklahoma. This guy goes back all the way back and played with Carlos Santana at one time when he was real young. So
and you've got,
it just goes on and on.
The spectrum for musicians and singers is broad.
It's broad.
It goes from country music through opera.
Yeah, and everything in between.
Yeah, it does. Now, are you currently raising money to do some development there?
We're not currently, but the big deal right now that we're talking about is our remodeling. The state of Oklahoma has thankfully given us a beautiful grant to remodel our building. Our building is old, and it needs cleaning up a little bit.
I think we've got some pictures.
Yeah, this is what the future will look like. That'll be our new entrance area. That you notice that ramp looked like a guitar. Mm-hmm. This is a theater area up the ramp behind that wall. There's our new reception area and our hall back in the background. Our new exhibit area will have all glass walls, and then there's our new stage that's being built. And we really think it's exciting. There's so many people that come, and we have regulars from our community that come. We have a radio station that broadcasts inside the building, the Okie Country 101.7 radio station. So it's real exciting to see what's possible. And And when the design team revealed to us what they had in mind, oh, we were just crazy for it.
I think
So
the word exciting is an understatement.
it is. It keeps the old tradition of this great freight building that everybody just loves and adores. We're keeping the bricks, we're keeping the old floor, but we're going to modernize it. And as the lieutenant governor said, he said, we got the best kept secret. And he said, we're going to spread the word, and let's just knock the dust off of it a little bit.
There you
So
go.
that's what the money's going to do for us. Yeah.
What are the plans for expansion there? Are the train tracks still active?
They're not. Where we're positioned, they're not. They are a couple of blocks away from us.
Yeah.
But where we're positioned, on one side of the building where the train tracks used to run, they would unload freight in our building, and then the freight would roll across to the other side, and there would be awaiting trucks and on the other dock, and they would take this freight and distribute it locally, regionally. But no, it's an ongoing process, keeping us alive. We're a nonprofit, and this was very helpful to have our state to come on and recognize that we have something pretty special here. Vince Gill has been a great supporter, and he talks about us all the time. And so many artists have come and played for us and continue to support us all the time. And it's really gratifying.
You're not going to be looking at me anytime during this interview and saying, I'm never surprised at anything, are you?
I'm never surprised at anything.
Yeah, I don't.
We just unveiled a statue for Merle Haggard.
Really?
On October 10th in our little town, right next to the Civic Center where he recorded that song, Okie from Muskogee. And his youngest son came and played a concert for us that night.
Oh,
and
sweet.
It was a pretty sweet thing. When he was leaving to go to the airport, he walked out to the statue, and nobody was out there. All the crowd was all still inside the venue in the arena, and he walked out and put his arm around his dad's statue and said, man, it's good to see you, Dad. I'll see you again soon. You know, it was
Get
just a
any
great
pictures?
moment. Oh, we got pictures.
Wow.
We have pictures, we have video, and it was a pretty special time.
That's
But
great.
music does something to people. It's kind of it's almost a universal language that everybody speaks, you know, and we're keeping
what's a
it going.
good time? If folks want to come down and just visit and kind of tour the facility as
Sure.
is now,
Sure.
when can they do
Well,
that?
we're open throughout the week, 10 to 5 usually. This right now, because we've just moved out for the remodel to start, we're not in the building. We're temporarily housed at the Muskogee Civic Center for probably 8 or 10 months, and then we'll move back into our shiny new building as these renderings just illustrated.
Oh, it's going to be gorgeous.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful, and we're so excited about it. And there'll be some very high tech special things in there. For example, you'll be able to walk up to an artificial intelligence workstation, and you can come up with the name of your band. You know, the Tom Jones Trio, and you come up with the name of a song, and AI will build an album cover for you.
No way.
And you can just email it to yourself if you want it. So we're doing all sorts of
nice.
fun things. So it's going to be pretty special.
What a sweet thought
Yeah.
that is. Now, if folks want to know more, they can go to your website.
Sure. The best way to go to the website, we've just changed the wording on our website a bit. It's okmusichall.com. It's real simple.
Are those patches for sale?
Not yet, but they will be shortly.
Let me know when. I want one.
Well, thank
Hey,
you.
thank you for coming
Oh,
in.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank
And
you so much.
please put us on your mailing list.
We'll sure do it. We'll
You're
sure
a
do
good
it.
man. I
Thanks
don't
for
care
what you
what
do.
anybody
I
says.
appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. I'll be back with more right after this.